Okay, well, it has been a couple months, but I'm back finally. So I've been competing in a statewide game design competition for a while now, and deadline was coming up. Did the competition, won judge's choice, did a pretty good job. Pretty happy about it. But that's what was eating up all my time over the past few months. As you saw in the opening clip, I literally haven't played this game since March. It's May now. And I have been waiting to get back into it ever since. And now the competition is over, and I can finally get back to playing Satisfactory. Now, a month ago, I had, been working on the next video, which is this video, and I, thought I got about halfway through. And so I came back and I opened up DaVinci Resolve today, and I realized, holy cow, the video is like 40 minutes long. So I figured, okay, my plans have changed slightly. I'll just go ahead and release this video as its own video instead of continuing it into like an hour or something long episode. Just because it was already ready to go, so why scrap it and throw it away? I might as well just release it. So, most of the video was recorded very early in the year, and then I took a short break for a few weeks and came back at the end of March and recorded a little bit more, and then nothing. And now I'm back, and now I get to play the game, and I'm very excited to continue playing the game and working on the next project. So, anyway, let's go jump back in time by a few months, and yeah, the video that I already had prepared. Heyo, how's it going everyone, and welcome back to some more Satisfactory, where last time we finished up phase 3 and the electronics factory and everything, and already unlocked the hover pack as well, which is great. So today we are going to get started on tiers 7 and 8, well, just tier 7 in this video, but we're gonna get started on all of this fun stuff. So first thing I'm gonna do is just really quickly unlock Logistics Mark 5, because I can. Hello, Bean.
Milestone reached. Fixit dedicated this milestone to the conveyor belt and lift Mark 5. They may be implying that your factory could be further optimized. While they are correct, I believe they are setting unreasonable expectations.
Oh, it's dark now.
Having all of humanity very definitely relying on your work is a lot of pressure. It's a good thing I'm here.
Okay, so I was able to unlock Conveyor Belts Mark 5 before unlocking the bauxite refinement, because I have a bunch of aluminum sheets and casings? Yeah. Casings and sheets when I explored the entire map for drop pods and everything. Also, that's green now. Randomly, these icons, one of them will just turn green. I don't know why. Oh, hey! Oh, never mind, I just hit it. Sorry, I thought for a second that the dismantle crates were gone, but I forgot that I hit them a long time ago. Anyway, so now we're going to wait for the pod to return and unlock bauxite refinement. And then, I believe, up the hill, just like right there, or somewhere around here, there's some bauxite. I can use just temporary setup just so that we get casings and sheets automated, so that we have them automated. And then once we start unlocking more stuff, we'll do the, an actual proper build to automate everything and all that fun stuff. Now my voice is still not doing too great because it's only been like a day since I finished up recording the last video, but I wanted to get, all this unlocked stuff unlocked and everything. That way I can just kind of start working on the plant over the next little bit of time here and everything. And also, we now have 145 coupons, which means we are only 5 coupons away from getting the Silver Hog and the Lizard Doggo, which is pretty neat. And we only need 1,200 more for the Bean and the Golden Nut. 1,200 is gonna take quite a while to do. I probably will finish the game before I get 1,200. But I do want to get the Golden Nut statue eventually. Now, I have just kind of every now and then been coming back here and slowly sinking more resources, and now I can actually upgrade this to Mark 5. If I can just, oh well, now we only need 4 more, so that's nice. So I can just throw in like some computers and heavy modular frames and stuff that I don't need right now, and then that'll help towards the 5 for the next 2 statues and everything. Alright, the pod is pretty much back, and I bet by the time that I finish the starter aluminum build, we will for sure have 5 coupons and can unlock those 2 things. But we need to do bauxite refinement right now.
Milestone reached. Bauxite is refined into aluminum products via a multi-step process. Considering your past achievements, you should have the minimum required skill to overcome these new production challenges. If it helps, many others have done this before, so if you fail, someone else will eventually succeed.
Okay. Thanks. Very supportive. Very, very supportive. Interesting. Their nodes are closer over here. I thought there was some in the craters. Or maybe it was over here in this lake. Up here? No, I thought it was in the crater area. I didn't even know there was bauxite down here. Huh. I don't think I want to go over here because it's a very awkward area to be in. There's no real building space or anything. But now that we have the bauxite, there should be some alternate recipes. Yes. Let's do it. Let's see what we got. Electrode aluminum scrap. What is this? Petroleum coke. Well, we might as well take it. There we go. And let's go ahead and rescan, I don't know, this one. What do we got? Oh, the pure aluminum ingot. Yes. Alkali casing. Copper. I thought this was the default one. Or no, it is the default. The default's for sheets that requires copper, isn't it? Okay. Alkali casings. What else do we got? Okay. We'll check this. Okay, I think that's most of the... Yeah, I don't really care about that. I think that's most of the ones from there. I mean, I might as well... Now that we have all this stuff, I might as well... No. I need to hold on to these so that I can quickly rescan. But I can start scanning some new hard drives and everything because we have a handful of extra recipes. Probably just like one or two. Handful of extra recipes that I can hold on to for the time being. So... oh, if I craft up some filters, fabric, ew, why there gotta be fabric involved? I could unlock the hazmat suit, and then I could go and grab all of these 4 items here, the 4 summer sloops and mercer spheres, or what, 3 summer sloops and 2 mercer spheres, right? Yeah, 2 mercer spheres, 2 summer sloops, and then this one though, this one, I forgot about this one. I can't find it. Like, it says it's on the map, it says it's on the scanner, I go to an area, it looks like it's under the ground because there's like 2 3-tiered caves here. I swear I've looked in all 3 tiers everywhere and I can't find it, and it looks like it's super close, and then I go down here and it looks farther away. I don't know what's going on with it. I'm gonna go back there and try and figure it out eventually, but that is very strange. Unless maybe I'm just blind and I walked right past it or something, who knows. I could immediately unlock this too, but we're not gonna do that. We are going to head over to... I'm actually going to go look on the Satisfactory map to see what the nearest thing with copper is. And actually, I need to look... What exactly does aluminum take? Creatures in the way. Oh, the dang bird. Alright, so we got solution. Yep. Oh, yeah, the water loop. Scrap coal? I don't remember that taking coal. Yes, okay. So, I've been looking through alternate recipes. I forgot aluminum was a bit more complicated than I thought it was. And then I was like, well, wait a second. I don't remember any of the ratios if, like, we use standard aluminum solution to get the silica and then put the silica into the aluminum ingot if we have the right amount of aluminum scraps being made. I don't remember any of this, and I'm still getting over being sick. I don't really have a functioning brain quite yet. I can't be thinking about this right now. I can't wrap my head around it. At this moment. So I am going to take a break from that. I'm just going to craft up some of these filters and get the hazmat suit unlocked so that I have it. And then I looked on the map. Looks like there's no real reliable spot with copper, bauxite, and coal nearby. I think this is like the nearest by spot where they were closest together. So I guess I could just put it here, belt them all over somewhere else, or train them over. But since it's such a temporary setup, probably just going to have to be here, to be honest. But I'm going to just do the mindless hazmat filter thing first, and then come back once I'm not still kind of getting over being sick and everything. Then I can actually think properly and do aluminum. Okay, well, I have all of the stuff that I need for the hazmat suit, and I was going through and deleting the footage from the last video, and I saw the clip of this one. Yeah, this one. This helmet. I found this when I was exploring the entire map, and I'm pretty sure I put it in the video, and then I completely forgot to talk about it because it was like 2 weeks because I got sick since I had done that. So we have this. Where'd it go? Oh, it's on my head. I'm not quite better yet. Anyway, so this helmet, I'm pretty sure it's this one. I found it out in a cave. I think it's the cave in here, like in this waterfall or something. I think it's here. Anyway, let's unlock the hazmat suit. I don't even know if I'm really going to be able to craft very many of these right now.
Milestone reached. The hazmat suit protects the wearer from radiation by consuming iodine-infused filters. You may find this protection essential if you are going to finally get around to saving humanity. I previously gave you compliments in an attempt to inspire you, but it might have given you the wrong idea. I will definitely be totally honest with you from this moment on.
Oh, okay.
Here is a demonstration of a truthful compliment. That suit looks like it was made for you. Because it was.
Whoa, that's crazy. I don't even think I've... sorry, the comment was crazy, but also I don't think I've ever made a gas mask. Yeah, I haven't actually made a gas mask yet, so I might as well make one of those in addition to the hazmat suit. Here we go, we got both of those taken care of. What do the filters take? Oh, I can make some. Oh, it just takes some casing. Oh, it's 1-to-1 there. Well, I'm gonna just handcraft up a couple of these, and then on my way, wherever I end up going, I haven't actually really planned out the factory yet. Wherever I'm gonna go to do the temporary aluminum setup, I'll just try and collect these 4 uranium encased artifacts real fast as well. Okay, I went and grabbed the last summer sloops and mercer spheres and everything. They're all gathered up. This one down, I think it was here. It was actually in a little cave entrance, like in here or here, that I missed when I was looking through it the first time. So, we now have every single mercer sphere and summer sloop in the map. Finally. And aluminum. I went ahead and yoinked a bauxite node that was here, I think. Here or here, or maybe even here, or here. It must have been there. It was up on a hill somewhere. Anyway, it was a pure node, and I took 400. I took 400 bauxite, just for now, because this is all temporary and everything, and set up a pretty small little plant here to produce some aluminum sheets and aluminum casing, which it's still kind of, all the overflow systems are still working their way up and everything. But what we have is 2 refineries making the sloppy aluma alternate with bauxite and water there, and those that get sent out aluminum solution into here with aluminum scrap and coal. I belted in the coal from those up there. I just upgraded the belts to Mark IV and overclocked the miners a little bit more and sent it out here to get the 240 coal that we need. And that produces 240 water out, which is very convenient because I can then send 40 of that water per minute over to 4 refineries making pure copper ingots, as well as 30 copper from that node right down there for the steel factory, which I still haven't finished that now that I think about it. Later. And then the other 200 can go back into the refineries to make the aluminum solution. So that means all I have to do is just have 1 water extractor making 200 water per minute. That gives 400 total water per minute in here, 200 per machine. And actually, I could even just disconnect this, to be honest, but it's fine. Because we get 200 out from here, goes back into here, and 200 in from there, goes into there. So we're all good there. This aluminum scrap comes out. I'm just using the smelter recipe to make the aluminum scrap instead of, I think there's the other recipe, right? Aluminum scrap. Yes, so there is... Oh, aluminum ingot, not scrap. There is this one, but it requires silica. I don't really want to deal with that right now, because I don't have silica anywhere nearby. Maybe in the future when I do a more in-depth build, because I'll probably need computers, and then that'll need silica. Anyway, for now, this is perfectly fine. We're making 720 aluminum scrap here, which turns into 360 aluminum ingots. Those 360 aluminum ingots get sent into 1 assembler to make 112.5 casings per minute. This takes 150 aluminum and 75 copper. And then 7 assemblers down here making the aluminum sheets with 10 copper and 30 aluminum ingot per machine to give us all that we need. And obviously the copper comes from there and gets split off and everything. So everything's still filling up here, kind of waiting on all the overflows to set up. This machine's just like barely too short of being full right now, but the dimensional depot is already full. We're already getting tons of aluminum sheets and casings in there. So we're gonna head back over to the hub and unlock whatever it's called. I forgot what it's called. What is it called? Leading edge production? Is that this one? That doesn't feel right. Ah, control system development. That's what it's called. We're gonna unlock that and we can get the blenders, which pretty sure take radio control units to make, but that's fine. We can make those.
Milestone reached. Several parts more efficient and powerful than the human brain can now be made to compensate for many deficiencies otherwise encountered in future development efforts. The blender enables you to mix and/or combine parts and fluids for more complex recipes. Most importantly, project part number 6, the assembly director system, should be produced and delivered to the space elevator as soon as possible.
Yes. I didn't realize blenders didn't take... I just assumed they would take radio control units. They don't. Oh, yeah. Alternate recipes. That's unlocked first. But batteries, all that fun stuff. I thought Ada said she was going to stop... She was going to be honest or something. It's been a couple of days since I heard the voice line. Something about not insulting me anymore. Clearly, I was wrong. So, next up, we just got to make some radio control units. And I think... yeah, because I have Mark V conveyors already. So we're good there. And now that I have aluminum aluminum sheets automated, I can go ahead and bind Mark V conveyors to my hotbar and now use these as the default ones. So now we got 580 resources. And I think since blenders don't require anything new to be produced, I'm going to look up all the alternate recipe chains and everything for turbo fuel. And actually, can we unlock turbo fuel already? Where turbo fuel? Ooh. Oh no, that's rocket fuel. Rocket fuel takes the canister or fluid tanks, which are in tier 8 in particle enrichment? No. Advanced plutonium. Or aluminum. Plutonium. Advanced aluminum production, which we can unlock if we do radio control units, which I could toss a few into an assembler with some storage containers really fast, just so that we have them. Anyway, I'm gonna unlock all these alternate recipes that I still have left to unlock and everything. Yeah, this is the one. This is the one. Here we go. Turbo blend fuel. What does this take? Man, these blenders, I forget how cool they look. Oh, they look so awesome. Okay. Turbo fuel blend. Fuel, heavy oil residue, sulfur, and petroleum coke. Oh. It doesn't even take coal anymore. Okay, so what I am going to do next is I am just going to temporarily make some radio control units. Just throw some crates down, throw a manufacturer down, and do it that way. Just so that we have a few. And I'm probably just going to go ahead and unlock advanced aluminum production so that I can see what these require. Heat sinks, cooling systems, fusion modular frames. And then from there, I am going to continue looking for alternate recipes for the turbo fuel. And then do all the math for the turbo fuel and figure out if it's going to make more sense for me to go ahead and just make a turbo fuel plant, depending on where I choose to make it, or if I should wait until I get the resource well and use like an oil well to help make the turbo fuel plant. So I'm going to go get started working on that.
Okay, well, it has been a couple of days and I actually haven't done any math yet. So the whole time that I was saying turbo fuel, I really meant rocket fuel. I want to do rocket fuel. Maybe even the ionized fuel, although, I probably can't even make it yet, to be honest. Maybe it takes a converter to make, who knows. Anyway, so I set up some turbo fuel, just temporary, not actually fully automated, so that we could unlock rocket fuel, so that I could see what all the recipes and stuff were going to be. There is a sulfur node right here inside of the quartz factory. And so I just belted it along the train line over to here to 2 coal nodes, made some compacted coal. Then I went over to the oil fuel plant set up over here and set up just a couple of machines over here so that I could just get enough packaged turbo fuel to unlock the rocket fuel. To unlock rocket fuel. And of course, you know, it's not actually automated or anything fully. I'm just throwing a couple of resources in here because I just needed enough to unlock it. And actually, we have significantly more now as well as a backup, but I just needed enough. And then this will all get destroyed. All of this will all get destroyed and everything if I decide to put the fuel plant here, because there is that oil well right there, which we're going to head back to the hub and unlock advanced aluminum production so we can unlock the fluid canisters so that we can unlock rocket fuel and see what all the recipes take and everything. And of course we have the manufacturer over there with a couple crates making enough radio control units so that we can unlock the advanced aluminum production really fast. So we can get the resource well and the empty fluid tank. Hopefully they don't take anything stupid complicated to make. Hopefully it's just aluminum.
Milestone reached. The resource well pressurizer and extractor can harvest nitrogen, crude oil, and water from underground wells. Nitrogen, being a gas, does not need pumps for pipeline transportation. Fixit does not process most of your metrics, but I do. According to Fixit predictions, you are exploiting this planet with unexpected efficiency. They did always struggle to see the true potential of things. Nothing about you is unexpected to me, and therefore you are performing exactly as expected.
Okay, so we're actually doing a good thing for once. Okay, let's see what the fluid canisters take. Good, just some aluminum ingots. Perfect. Easy. We can make up 50 of those really fast and go ahead and unlock the rocket fuel. And also, we can unlock turbo rifle ammo as well, which I'm going to do right now.
Turbo rifle ammo unlocked. The pioneer ammo of choice when obstacles are numerous and time is short. Panic and imminent death often negatively affect human accuracy, so this ammo meets the human experience with Fixit efficiency.
Okay. Yeah, I don't really care for the turbo rifle ammo all that much, to be honest. I probably won't ever really use it. I like the homing rifle ammo. But I'm gonna go set up some fluid canister production with a couple of aluminum ingots here really fast. And then we can get the rocket fuel unlocked and then finally actually do the math for the factory and figure all that out. Right, I got the fluid canisters we need and we can finally unlock rocket fuel and figure out what all the recipes take, because I guess I've kind of come up with this rule that I'm not really going to be looking at any recipes and stuff until I have the item unlocked. I don't know why, just because. I mean, that way I'm not knowing, planning out my entire world before starting, because I kind of want to just play the game as, goes along and figure out stuff as it comes up. Anyway, rocket fuel.
Rocket fuel unlocked. Pioneers will be able to use rocket fuel in the fuel generator and any vehicle that uses fuel, including the jetpack, with appropriate results. Warning: mixing rocket fuel into coffee does not enhance its energizing effect.
Okay, so there is an alternate recipe. I don't know what it is, but we can scan the hard drives for it unless it's some sort of unpackaged thing. It does take nitric acid though. Can I actually make that yet? I don't know if I can actually make nitric acid yet. I don't think I can. Yeah, it takes particle enrichment in order to unlock nitric acid. Ah! So that kind of brings a little bit of a problem into things. I did not realize that. Which, I mean, I guess theoretically, I could make all this stuff and unlock this. Make all these and unlock this, but that's going to be so much time. I might as well just make a turbo fuel plant and convert it into rocket fuel later. And all that stuff. So, now I'm kind of having to rethink everything that I was going to do. Because that changes things quite a bit. Well, now that kind of throws off everything I was gonna do, I might as well unlock drone ports and get everything unlocked that we can do. And then from there, I'm gonna just start doing some math stuff. See how complicated it's gonna be to convert turbo fuel into rocket fuel, how much nitric acid it's gonna take, and everything in the Satisfactory production planner app thing. And then decide if I really want to do turbo fuel or just run off of the power that I have right now, automate everything, unlock nitric acid, and then go straight to rocket fuel. I don't think I'm going to have enough power to do that unless I do a really small setup, but I don't want to do a really small setup and have to remake the entire setup later. So yeah, we're gonna see how this goes. But let's go ahead and unlock aeronautical engineering. We might as well at this point. And actually, while we're waiting for the pod to return, I now have all the coupons required to get the Silver Hog and the Lizard Doggo.
Congratulations on purchasing this statue. It is a truly spectacular and one-off event. If you believe you have heard this message before, please examine yourself for signs of temporal anomalies.
Oh, I better examine myself for signs of temporal anomalies. Okay, Silver Hog, there we go. And let's get the Lizard Doggo. There we go. Now I gotta figure out how I'm gonna place these guys in. There we go. I think this works for now. This guy's a little crooked. No, he's not. It's straight. It's just angled on both sides. This works for now, and once I get an actual proper, you know, main game final base area set up and everything, then I'll actually, you know, be able to put these in a proper place. But this works good enough for now. All right, aeronautical engineering. Let's go ahead and do it.
Milestone reached. Drones provide automated low-capacity aerial transport between drone stations. Stations need to be supplied with any kind of fuel for the drones to function. Fix-It had several restrictions in place prohibiting creative use of drones. I have since removed those because I think no pioneer would ever misuse Fix-It property right under their noses. Especially since everything is recorded.
Oh. Oops. Nah. No, you don't have to record or anything. You can trust me. There'll be no misuse of Fix-It property. None at all. Alright, well, now that we've gone ahead and pretty much ended up unlocking all of Tier 7 and 8 apart from nuclear power and Mark 3 miners and everything, I'm gonna finally go actually do math now and figure out all the turbo fuel versus rocket fuel versus how complicated it'd be to do ionized fuel and if it even makes sense to do that for a fuel plant or not. That's gonna be fun and take forever to do, so I'm gonna go start working on that. Okay, well, the math has been done. And oh boy, it's a little interesting. And a location has been picked out. I am choosing to build the power plant over here in the blue crater. Because conveniently, the math kind of just works out that I can I can use almost all of the resources in this area to make a crap ton of turbo fuel. But first, I've already set up a hypertube cannon over there and got some infrastructure up. I took the power towers, that's what they're called, right? Yeah, I took the power towers and I ran them along the coastline here, down and around, all the way around into the blue crater to route some power down there. And I set up a hypertube cannon on the way back. So let's go ahead and head over there real fast. I totally wasn't over there and didn't literally go back there to record that clip only to come back over here. No, not at all. Not at all. Anyway, as you can see, I've already started working on some infrastructure. I connected, let's see, there's 2 geysers, power, like, thermal, what are they called? Geysers. Whatever the other word is. Geothermal, right? Yeah, because whatever. The geysers, right? There's 2 there, 2 down there, and 1 there. So I already hooked those up to the power grid and everything. I started working on the nitrogen gas resource well over there. I kind of just gave up on trying to place everything on foundations and just threw the pipes down on the ground and set up some foundations further out. I'll probably go back and revisit it because I don't know if I'm really happy with it. It looks kind of cool. But it's on such a steep angle that you cannot easily set up foundations for the, like, what is this angle? It's annoying. So for now, this is fine, whatever. I just started setting up some stuff. Let's see, we have access to a lot of resources over here. And there's the power towers and everything. Hypertube cannon. Heading back, why don't we head over to the Satisfactory modeler and talk about some of the math and everything. Alrighty, well, we have quite a bit to go over here. So, okay, in this area, we have access to 2,250 crude oil, 1,200 sulfur, 1,500 nitrogen gas, and 1,200 coal. Although, as it turns out, with the recipes that I'm going to be using, I don't even need the coal. We just need these and some iron as well, but I didn't even bother counting that in because iron is everywhere, and we barely need any of it. Which, if we head over into the Satisfactory map really fast, you can see here, this is all of the oil. It's over on this side. Then we got all the nitrogen gas right there. And then 3 sulfur nodes here, as well as I'm going to be stealing 1 more over here. I wasn't originally going to do this until about 30 minutes ago when I came in here to look over all of my stuff for the math before recording, so I knew what I needed to talk about, and I realized a few things and basically reworked all of the math that I did. So, said math that I reworked, actually, we're going to start up here. Now, when I first started this, I came in and I wanted to check which turbo fuel recipe was going to be the most efficient, and which set of alternate recipes to make said turbo fuel recipe was going to be the most efficient. Mainly, I was looking for the most efficient with sulfur, because that is definitely the most limited resource we have. Technically, I guess, nitrogen gas, but we don't even need that yet. That's for converting to rocket fuel later on. So, sulfur-wise, This is the default recipe, I think. I set these all to equal 45 because this lowest recipe was one machine for 45. So this takes 36 sulfur for 45 turbo fuel. This one's 1-to-1. But this recipe, turbo blend fuel, I think it is. It's 1 sulfur for 2 turbo fuel. So double the turbo fuel based off sulfur. So that's really good. And then I tested, and the other great thing about it is that it doesn't even take coal. All these other ones, they take coal because you need compacted coal and everything to make the turbo fuel. This one doesn't take coal. It takes petroleum coke, which is oil. So this just takes sulfur and oil. And now these two here, it was testing with the diluted fuel recipe, I think, where you're combining oil residue and water to get a little bit more fuel. This is 1-to-1, 1 oil, 1 turbo fuel, while this is some ratio, I don't know, but it's less oil for more turbo fuel. Now, while I was doing all of that, I was scanning hard drives until I ran out of recipes and everything, so we have a nice backup here for when we unlock more stuff. And I discovered this on the first recipe. Nitro rocket fuel. This recipe takes fuel, nitrogen gas, sulfur, and coal, turns it straight into rocket fuel. We don't even have to make turbo fuel. So I thought this recipe was actually really interesting. So I took it back into the calculator. So back in the calculator, I wanted to test it out and see what the results would be. And it turns out it's not really all that great compared to what we could be making with a different recipe. It takes, this is actually a slightly different version because I reworked all the math and I didn't change this. But still, overall, it makes less rocket fuel than we could make with this whole series of a bunch of stuff going on here. Anyway, so this is what I originally had before I went to look over my notes and everything and make sure I knew what I was talking about. And this was I was using just the regular fuel recipe, not the diluted fuel recipe. I don't know why I did that. I think I did it by mistake, but I figured out all the math, and I also didn't know that I was going to be using the extra impure sulfur node, so that's why there's a little bit less sulfur as well. I found that out when I came back to look over everything and make sure it was all good, and I found out that I made this mistake, and then my head started going crazy, and I did all this. Anyway, this was going to be able to make 2100 rocket fuel, and then I could convert that all into, no, turbo fuel, sorry, 2100 turbo fuel, and I could convert all of that turbo fuel into rocket fuel using almost all the nitrogen gas. And I was like, yeah, that's great, perfect. And then I realized, hey, wait a second, we're outputting a bit of compacted coal. I bet you we could turn that into more turbo fuel. So I looked up this, and we didn't really have enough oil to do that. Actually, we had enough oil to do this, but I don't think we would have enough. We didn't have enough nitrogen gas to turn it back into turbo fuel, but then it would just get into more of a loop. Anyway, that's when I realized, oh crap, I'm not using the right recipes here. I'm supposed to be using this one. And then I also realized, hey, wait a second. I'm going to be using less oil, and I also have access to more sulfur now. So, down here, that's still the wrong recipe. I think I actually accidentally copied the recipe again, but mainly to test out how much I could produce with 1200 sulfur, because this number is a nice, easy number to work with. Anyway, and unfortunately, if we produce 2400 turbo fuel, we can't turn it all into rocket fuel because we're limited by 1500 nitrogen gas. So then I finally copied over the correct recipe, and now we are going to be producing 2400 turbo fuel with 1200 sulfur and 1800 crude oil, which means we'll have a bunch of extra crude oil left over. And then we're going to be converting as much of the turbo fuel as we can into rocket fuel, which is going to be 2250 to use up 1500 nitrogen gas. And then the 375 compacted coal that gets outputted from the rocket fuel conversion is going to go into some just standard recipe turbo fuel to get made in turbo fuel to just produce a bit of extra power because we have access to the extra oil and can use it, and we might as well, right? Just takes a bit of extra water and everything. And we're still going to be well under the total oil consumption. In total, the first stage of the power plant, before we do the turbo fuel, we're going to be able to produce 80,000 megawatts over up here on the left. 80,000 megawatts like that. Then once we convert this into turbo fuel,
it jumps up to 225,000 megawatts of power. And then once we add in the overflow system plus 150, because 2400 minus 2250 is 150. Once we add in all this extra, in total, we're going to be making 245,625 megawatts of power. And I really hope that this is actually the correct set of recipes that I wanted to use. There had to have been a reason why I chose this initially, but I genuinely have no idea what it was. Oh yeah, and that's the last thing. See, I'm forgetting stuff because there's way too much going on here. We also, right at the very, very start of this whole project, when we're converting crude oil into heavy oil residue to use for all of this stuff, we're going to be outputting 1200 polymer resin, and additionally 140 down there once we get to that stage. And we can take that 1200 and using these recycled or residual, whatever one it is, plastic and rubber, we can just make a bunch of plastic and rubber on the side. I don't know exactly how much we'll be able to make. We'll be producing some extra plastic and rubber on the side, which is always great. Anyway, now that all of the math talk is out of the way and I'm going to be second guessing myself the whole time as I start working on this project, I'm going to start working on this project. Now, design-wise for this power plant, I kind of want to try just the, like, open floor biome paving thing that Kibitz does. And I actually think he did that for a power plant in this blue crater, now that I think about it. Anyway, I kind of want to try that out, see how it goes. I want to design like a blueprint for the fuel generators to have some designs around them, but the rest of the things will probably be pretty open. Catwalks going everywhere. Hopefully if I can make it look good. We'll see how it all ends up turning out. But first things first, I got to set up all of the miners with all of the resource nodes and everything, and built that one sulfur node that's way off over here. That's going to be a pain. Anyway, now it's finally time to start working on this, so I'm going to start placing down foundations everywhere and see what this biome ends up looking like when it's covered up and everything, and see if I want to go down that route or do something different hovering over this lake or something. Okay, well, nothing has been done. Yay. And it's also been an entire month since I've last, like, actually properly loaded up the game. But it's currently, like, late March as I'm recording this, and I wanted to try and at least get this video out at some point in between the time where I'll actually start to have time to play this game again, because I've been waiting to get back into it for so long. And then I hate springtime. Allergies, hippie, lovely. Anyway, so during this, why is the bean running so fast? What happened? Okay, anyway, during this long break time, I kind of realized as I was looking through my production planner notes, because I was going to just kind of start placing down some foundations and a little bit of free time that I had here and there. And I realized, you know what? I don't really want to go build this whole setup and then come back later and convert the extra convert it into rocket fuel with the nitric acid recipe and stuff. I would rather just do it all at once. However, in order to unlock nitric acid, we need to unlock particle enrichment in tier 8, which requires turbo motors, fused modular frames, and cooling systems. We don't even have turbo motors unlocked yet. In order to do that, we need fused modular frames and supercomputers. And now, since all of this stuff is still locked, I figured I might as well just temporarily automate cooling systems, fused modular frames, radio control units, and supercomputers to get them automated, and then we'll unlock the turbo motors, and then I'll just use some tickets to purchase the turbo motors I need to unlock particle enrichment, so that we can unlock nitric acid, because it just takes a blender to make, and then we can just do the whole turbo fuel power plant all in one. So I went over to the Satisfactory modeler, and oh boy, turns out this is kind of complicated. Who would have guessed? So what we're doing is we are just making one machine worth of every item. So 1.5 fused modular frames, 2.5 radio control units, 3 supercomputers, and 5 cooling systems, with a total of 1 machine making each item. Of course, this is 2.2 because we need them for supercomputers. But it turns into all of this mess. Absolute. What is this? So it's going to take 300 quartz,
600 iron, 400 bauxite, only 4 water extractors, 500 water, 300 coal, and what, 400 copper. Oh, and there's more. 500 or 450 limestone, and 170 nitrogen gas. Yay. I'm kind of thinking maybe I should just purchase with tickets. I mean, it would make it so much faster. But I also kind of would like to just have these automated for now. However... Ooh, okay. However, if I do that... I mean, I'm just going to tear this all down anyway and make a different setup that's going to probably be making a lot more with different recipes for more efficiency and stuff. You know what? Really taking some time to look at this now a couple days after I finished it, I think it might actually just be better to purchase the items in the awesome shop, because all we're doing is using it to unlock stuff. I mean, I would much rather wait and have things automated before I unlock stuff, but I just want to, you know, get the turbo fuel power plant started. Oh, but that's the other thing though. The 1.1 trailer dropped a little bit ago, and I was kind of thinking, you know, the new the new buildables. And I was thinking, you know, all the new buildables look really cool, and they kind of gave me some design ideas. And I definitely want to do something different than just paving over the whole biome now that I've had a month to think about it. So maybe it's a good thing that I do this so that I can at least be doing something until 1.1 releases. Okay, yeah, we'll do it this way. We'll figure this out, slowly work through it. And then by that point, 1.1 will probably be released, and then we can just immediately go in and unlock everything and get all the new buildables and all that, and then actually build the power plant. So the next step, I need to go onto the Satisfactory map and figure out a place that's gonna give me all of these items, which is probably gonna be pretty difficult. Anyway, so now back in present day time, my plans have changed ever so slightly for the turbo fuel build, but we'll get into that in the next video when I'm actually really starting to work on it. And I was just gonna scrap that video, but since it was already 40 minutes long, I just figured, I might as well go ahead and just post it anyway, just since I already had it ready to go. So next time we'll really actually start working on the turbo fuel plant for real, and I'll be getting back into the game and everything, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. And I'm probably going to go ahead and jump over to 1.1. It's been out on experimental for quite a while now, and they've done a couple of major bug fixes and patches and everything. So I think I'm good to go ahead and try out playing it so that I can mess around with all the new buildables, and then I don't have to use mods for infinite nudge and vertical nudge and all that fun stuff. And then the blueprint connectivity is insane too. And of course, you know, the buildables, I already said that. I'm losing it. It's the day after the competition that I've been working on. My brain's still completely non-functional right now. But thank you all so much for watching. I'm getting back into the game. Finally, I'm so excited to continue playing this lovely game again and getting into Tier 9 and beating the game for the first time. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.